Welcome to solverfy.
Okay, so in this question, we want to show that if r is an irrational number, then there is a unique integer n such that the distance between r and n is less than 1/2. So what does this even mean? So I'll just solve part of it. I'll give a visual explanation, which would clear up the question asking. So if r is a rational number, irrational, r-a-t-i-o-n-a-l, then there exists some integer m such that m minus 1 is less than r is less than n. So this should be pretty easy. This should be pretty obvious, because if r is just some random number here, then I can of course bound it by some integers between it. Now it's also important to note that r can never be equal to these numbers here, because r is irrational and m are integers and hence rational. Now it's also important to note that r cannot be m minus by a half. So r cannot be the midpoint of this interval because this is a rational number. So then, the distance between r to m is 1/2 if it's in this range, and the distance between r and n minus 1 is 1/2 in this range as well. So that's what they're talking about. So, and then also r cannot be m minus by 1/2. So then we consider two cases. First, let's consider the case when r is in this interval. So when m minus by 1 is less than r is less than m minus by 1/2. Well, then we'll just subtract m minus 1 from everything. So 0 is less than r subtracted by m minus by 1 is less than m minus by a half subtracted by m minus by 1. Now this thing on this side is just going to be equal to m minus by a half minus by m plus by 1. The two m's cancel out, which give you 1/2. So then 0 is less than r minus by m minus by 1 is less than 1/2. So what does this mean? So this means that the integer n is then m minus 1, so n is equal to m minus by 1, and the distance between r and n is less than 1/2. Now we consider the second case when m minus 1/2 is less than r is less than m. So in this case, we'll do something a bit different. We'll subtract r from first this inequality. So when we do that, we have m minus by r minus by 1/2 is less than 0. Move the half across, we have m minus by r is less than 1/2. Now we subtract r from this inequality, so we have 0 is less than m minus by r, which implies that m minus by r is greater than 0. But we also know that this is bounded by 1/2, so we have this is 1/2 like this. So 0 is less than m minus by r is less than 1/2. So what this means then is that m minus by r is less than 1/2. So hence we have our integer. So when r is less than halfway, then the unique integer is m minus by 1. When r is greater than halfway of this interval, the unique integer is m.